Hello, this is Jamie Magrich. Welcome to Jamie's Craft Table. Today I'm going to show you how I made this card. Let's bring in my supplies here. Okay. The focal image is from Flowering Blooms, this one here. And I used the coordinating die. The sentiment came out of All Things Fabulous. I wanted a long, thin sentiment that would fit on the front of my card. Wishing you all things fabulous, I thought was perfect for like a birthday card or whatever you want to use. Then I used the greenery embossing folder. Again, I used this one. I don't know if you can see it. I need to leave that out because I need that. I'm going to be using my stamparatus. I have a piece of Whisper White, which is what is it? A 1/4 inch by, I think it's 3 inches. No, 2 3/4. 1/4 inch by 2 3/4. And then I have a, excuse me, this is a 1/2 inch by 2 3/4, and this is 3/4 of an inch by 3. Okay, so that'll be for my sentiment. I have a die cut of the flower, so I can stamp that. I have a piece of Whisper White, which is 2 1/4 inch square, a piece of black, which is 2 1/2 inch square. I have a piece of Designer Series paper, which is 3 1/4 by 5, a piece of cherry cobbler, which is 4 by 5 1/4, and then my card base. I did the long way, so it's 4 1/4 by 11, scored and folded at 5 1/2. And for the inside of my card, I have another piece of a piece of Whisper White, which is 4 by 5 1/4, and a little 1/4 inch strip of the same Designer Series paper to glue on the bottom. Okay, let's put all these pieces aside. First thing I'm going to do is take this 2 1/4 inch square and run it through that embossing folder. So I'm going to do that, and I will be right back. Just going to put that in there, close it up. I do want to make sure it's square because I don't like it when it looks cattywampus. So I'm just going to line it up best I can. That looks good, and I'll be right back. Okay, there we go. There you go. Can you see the texture there? Okay, so I'm going to adhere this to my to the black square, which is 2 1/2 inches. I'm going to use my wet glue today. Alright, put that aside. Okay, next I want to stamp my flower. So I'm going to use my stamparatus. I have the die cut shape here. I'm going to go ahead and I've lined up my stamp into that shape and picked it up with the plate. So now I'm going to put my die cut back into there. I'm going to ink it up with the Memento black ink. Stamp it. I'm bring in a cloth that makes it easier to move. It's a little blotchy. Let's stamp it again. I'm not in love with that. Another good stamp. I'm going to advantage with having it in the MISTI. So if you don't like it, you can stamp it again. That's much better. Let's pop it out. That out of the way. The designer series paper I'm using is the Ornate Garden. Forgot to say that. Okay. I'm going to bring in a couple of blends. I'm just using cherry cobbler and light granny apple green. So I'm going to go ahead and color the leaves the light granny apple green. Stem, I almost got it too dark now with the black, but that's alright. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with the light cherry cobbler. I'm just going to color the whole flower. Almost done here. Just trying not to go out of the lines. And this stamped image has enough detailing in it. You really don't need to do anything else. You can just leave it just like this, which I think is what I'm going to do this time. I'm not going to add anything else to it. I'm just going to leave it this one color. A little bit more here. Do the bud. Okay, so that's colored. So I've used the light cherry cobbler and the light granny apple green. Okay, now let's put this card together. Oh, I need to stamp my sentiment, so let's do that. On the little strip of white, I'm going to stamp a sentiment. Perfect. Okay, let's go ahead and mount that to our black layer that goes behind it. Alright. Those to a side. Bring in all of our pieces. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and glue this strip, this little tiny strip, to the bottom edge of, or well, you could do it on the top edge if you choose to, of this white layer. It's for the inside of my card. It's 4 by 5 1/4 inches. I'm going to go ahead and adhere that to the inside. Okay. I'm going to layer the designer series paper onto my cherry cobbler. And I'm going to layer that onto the front of the card. Okay, then I'm going to bring in some dimensionals. Put a few dimensionals on the backs of my white and black layer. And on the back of my sentiment. Take the backs off. Come on. Okay. I'm going to mount this to the center top. So this side, the top, and this side are all going to have the same spacing. And the sentiment is going to go below it. It's just going to have like between 1/4 and 1/8 of an inch. Okay, then I'm going to bring in my flower. I'm going to put some glue on the back of it. I'm going to tuck this stem underneath the sentiment and center that flower where I want it inside that white square. Okay, then I'm going to come in with some holiday rhinestones. I'm going to add a little bit of bling to this. So I'm going to take one of these big ones, put it down here, take a medium one, put it right there. Whoops, where'd it go? Small one here, and another small one here, and another small one up here at this top, just to make a flow so it kind of flows across the card. And there you go. There's a card we just made together. Here's the one I did previously. Now this one I did add a little bit of the dark in the flower, so I'm not sure if you could see the difference or not. Well, thank you so much for joining me at Jamie's Craft Table. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope you can find a little bit of time to play with some stamps, ink, and paper.